Hi everyone. In the last session, we have gone through the basics of Spark, and we are able to validate some of the data types. And I think at the end we got an issue with one of the data type, or maybe a few of the data types, like for example, sales, quantity, discount, and profit. So what exactly I have done is like I have gone through the struct type. So I define a struct type, and it seems there is some issue with the product name. Probably I'll double check on that. But whenever I load this superstore data, right, I have sample superstore data. So I have an issue with the product name, and it's causing an error for the sales metric. So for now, so let me use struct type and struct field. So what exactly the struct type and struct field is like? Basically, struct type is not. So let me run the initiate the Spark session. Okay. So let's start. So what exactly the struct type and struct field is like? These are classes and used to define the scheme of a data frame. So when the data is a bit complex, as I said, right, if you're going to use infer schema equal to true, basically it will scan the data twice. So that way it will take the computational and the more it's bit more expensive if you're dealing with productionized or huge volume of data. Okay. So I'm going to read the CSV, the sample superstore data. Oh, I don't want to go through the schema, right, as I say. And so let me run for now the df.show. And as I say, right, so I excluded product name, so I have only product ID for now. So now let's define the schema. So let's run this. And I have this load the schema for the sample superstore data. Okay. So I need to validate whether the data is loaded or not. So I have used df_custom dot show, right? If you can provide 5, it will display 5 records, or default it's showing up 20 records. Perfect. Now I can see the data is loading properly. So let's double check on the data type. Anyhow, we loaded as a custom data type, right? So you can still we can go with the print scheme. Right? So let's df_custom dot scheme. Shift enter and double check the data type here. So you can see for sales it is double, and quantity we are getting integer, and discount is double, and profit is double. So this is what one of the advantage with struct type and struct field. Once you define the schema, struct field is the detailed. If you can see struct field, right? Struct field is the detailed. The definition of the column. There's a column name and the data type, and this is nullable, right? So you see nullable equal to true or false. If it is true, it will accept null values. Got it? So that's the advantage of struct type and struct field. So now what we can do with the, I actually have one more interesting point is I actually have this tableau public and loaded the same superstore data. Okay, so we'll compare some of the results with PySpark. So now let's start with, in the last class I said like I want to show some describe function, df_custom dot describe dot show. So basically, if you are going to if you're going to display, if you're going to use show, then the action will perform, right? That's what we have, transformations and actions in PySpark. So I'm sorry. So you see, I missed out. So whenever you are going to give this default functions, right? If I say select describe, now I'm able to see the brackets, but before I didn't got the brackets. So that's what I missed. Describe.show. So this is like describe will show the statistical summary. It will generally take some time, will run on top of overall data. And this will give you the summary of the stats. So like high level, you can see the one of the important aggregation is like the count of number of records for data validation. This is one of the important thing for validation purpose. So, and you can see min and max, right? But we can go with the regular function like aggregate functions like sum, and we can use some GroupBy. Let's go with some of those functionalities. Okay. So I'll give the titles, but I don't want to give the titles. What is happening is like if I'm going to provide the title, the default, we are able to get the generated code. So it's reading up the title, and Google Colab is providing the complete code. That's the only reason. So now let's go with the, you can go with the select star. I mean, we can go with df underscore custom dot select star. So I'm doing the double quotes. Okay. Select star from table name, right? Similar to that SQL. So I'm giving select star dot show. This will give you the default 20 records. So you can see all the data and scroll to right. So you can able to get the proper data here for sales, quantity, discount, and everything. So now, if I want to go with select specific columns, right? df custom dot select. If I want to display specific columns, so even you can see it's picking up order ID sales, right? So I will go with category, comma, we have subcategory. I can use the generated one. So let's display. So if I want to display profit or sales, right? So you can say sales, and then run. So let's provide 5. The best practice is to go with 5 number of records. Perfect. So we are showing category wise, subcategory wise sales. And now, so the group by is different. So we'll come back to group by functionality. So let's say if I want to apply a filter, right? Let's say if I want to apply a filter and I want to showcase our first point, like first of all, we need to get the distinct records of categories. I want to know what are all the records present in category, right? So you can see here, office supplies, furniture, technology, furniture, right? So let's go with the fetch distinct records, just to show, uh, like for applying the filter condition, just want to understand the data here. So custom it dot select. So we can simply select specific column, right? So like show 5. Let's see how this will work. As I said, right, so we are not applying any distinct, it's simply showing the top 5 records. Got it. So, but if I want to go for distinct, so we can use in SQL, we have distinct function. Similar to that, we already importing the SQL functionalities here, right? So we can see we are already importing the SQL functionality functions. So now let me change here. So distinct dot. So you don't require 5. Let's see. So now we have office supplies, furniture, and technology. As I said, right, if I want to apply filter condition on top of category equal to some technology or furniture, then I want to know, I want to know the labels, the actual data. So now, so let's apply a filter, df underscore custom dot select. So if I want to go with the specific columns, you can go with the specific columns. Better, I'll go with the specific instead of star. So I can go with the category and comma subcategory. And if he wants to go with addition of region, let me go with region. Region. Now I want to apply filter. Okay. So let's dot filter. Let's see, you have filter, and you need to consider category equal to furniture. So now filter off. Again, one more bracket I'm opening because I want to specify category. Category equal to furniture. Okay, let's see. The condition should be in a column or string or boolean. Now we are getting an error. So where exactly the error here? Argument should be a column. Oh, okay. Understand. So in the filter, we need to specify there is a column, right? So we already using some functions we defined. Actually, if you scroll up, so we are using functions here. So we can make use of columns, the top column. So now let's add top column of category equal to furniture. Sure. Let's done this. Perfect. Now you can see we are able to fetch category equal to only furniture, and we have subcategory and region. Got it? So this is one way to apply, I mean, in general, to apply a filter condition. If you want to apply additional filters, so we can go with a few more additional filter conditions. Let's say if I want to, now you have region, right? You have region south, central, east, and west, correct? So let's see, let me copy this. Let's paste here. Now, if I want to apply a region filter, so you can copy the same entire condition, and let me add one more bracket here. So I need to add and open the same. Now the dot column of region equal to, let me go with south, show of 5. Let me use 5 records. Let's see. Filter of the dot column furniture and region equal to south, complete input. So filter dot, what's the mistake here? I'm just checking. So nothing here. So we are good with till category. So what's the, we how to apply closing bracket, right? So this here, and this is one more, and I need to close one more bracket. Exactly the issue. Sorry, wait, sorry here. So I need to close the bracket here, and let me remove this. Perfect. So because like you see, column of category, so I didn't close this column of region. So now let's run this. Perfect. So now I'm able to fetch only category equal to furniture and region equal to south. Okay. So, and interestingly, I will go with the one interesting functionality here. So df underscore custom dot filter. If I want to apply filter condition on top of here, right? Let's say we have order date or something like that. We have an order date. Okay. So we have an order date where you can see we don't have an year column here in this data. We don't have a specific year column. So if you go back to Tableau, if you search, we don't have an year field. But one of the advantage in Tableau is like if you drag and drop order date, you will get year of order date, right? And you can apply any filter condition, or we have those functions. Similarly, so you can see how Tableau is defining date part of year, comma date part of year of order date. So we have some other functions actually. Okay. But if you go back to PySpark, so if I want to apply some filter condition, so you can define a with column, you can create a column on top of here, but you can also use some functions. Okay. We already have function f dot, I will go with year of, you can see f dot year of f dot column of order date. But I need to define the data type. So it's not about, okay, let's see if this works. 2024 dot year dot show of money. Let's run. Yeah, I think I'm missing something. The value is 0301 2022 and the type is string cannot be cast. So I need to convert into to date function. So let me use that f dot year of, before this f dot column, right? I need to make use of f dot to date. I'll convert into to date function. So you can see to number to date of order date. For the order date, I have to define some dd. What is the, I can see here ddmmyy. So probably it will take as a same ddmmyy. So let me use ddmmyy. Let's run. Sorry to take more time, but yeah. So f dot filter f dot year. Let's check. So this has to be closed one. We need to close one more bracket because I added a function, right? So this has to close here. That's it. And let's check whether you are getting only 2024 data because you applied 2024. You can see. So we are able to see only order date 2024. Perfect. So this is one of the functionality where you can see we can apply some of the custom filters. Perfect. And now, so you can go with the fetch some distinct records. I mean, we actually distinct record count actually, I'm saying like not distinct record for a specific column. So let's say if you go back to Tableau and let me create a new sheet. So let's say if you have a region wise, it's a default generator, you can see count. You can see the total count south 1620 and west 3253. Let's validate the same region wise total number of records. df custom dot select region, right? Region. And if I want to get, so this is like we are selecting region wise specific column. But if I want to get the count for a region level, so we can use GroupBy. Okay, I can use GroupBy region dot count and dot show. Let's run this. So as I remember 1620, you can see go to Tableau 1620 and west 3253 and west 3253. Perfect. So this is where we can apply some group aggregate functions and group by functions. So I'll show some of the aggregate functions as well, right? So group by, we are showing count. Let's say if I want to go for group by sales, right? Let's say if I want to add sum of sales to this, okay? Sum of sales. So now, so let me copy the same. Instead of count dot, so we need to perform aggregation here. So we need to say, hey, perform an aggregation. What type of an aggregation here? Sum of sales. Let's say show. The only thing is like I will be missing those function. If whenever I'm going to apply any function, I need to call with f dot. So let's run. If I'm going to face any issues, let's say I'll be applying aggregate, right? Aggregate of f dot sum. Let's run this. Perfect. So the only challenge is we need to remove the round. So I'll come back to this rounding sales. So you can also go with the order by and group by. So group by region. Let's see high level data. West 739813 7398114. So that's a rounding, right? We'll go for rounding as well. I'll come back to the trend. So now, yeah, let's check the rounding. What it shows order by. So even we can go with order by. So this is one of the, let me use tab. Even let's go with order by functionality. So somewhere you can go with some sorting. 739813. So you can see sort by say sum of sales, order by sum of sales, right? But as I say, like the one last functionality we can see, and we can check some other functionality into our session. So we can close with the rounding function. We just validate with Tableau some set of results. I know it's matching, but I just want to close with rounding functionality. df custom dot. So you have this group by of region and dot agg f dot. Now, as I said, right, before applying the sum of here, before applying sum of sales, let's put about order by, but before applying sum of sales, you just need to add round of round of the top sum of sales dot sum of sales, comma, if you want to provide two, I'll go with zero only. Okay, I'll go with zero. Dot, if I want to provide an alias name, if you want to go with some total sales, some of these functionality, right? Even we can have a, do we have alias name? Alias, you can see total sales dot show. Let me run this. Perfect. You can see West 739814, 739814. Perfect. So this is where some of the functionalities where we can match and we can do the same thing in Tableau or whatever the functionalities in PySpark, right? So one of the advantage in PySpark is like, I mean, one important point is like we need to define the schema, the struct type and struct fields. So that way we can, as I said, the infer schema is going to scan a couple of times. So it might take the computational space and more expensive if you're dealing with huge volume of data. Okay. Thank you for watching.